Good morning, me hearties. Lovely to have you with us. It's Saturday morning. Nothing gets past me, and it's the early bird. We've popped up early this morning to say hi to you, Dinky-Doo Bryden. How lovely of you to come and join us at this time in the morning. How amazing are you guys? Dinky-Doo says, Christoire. Guys, remember to tell us where you're watching. That's so important. We love to hear from you. Christoire. How lovely to have you with us. Je regrette, mais je ne parle pas français très vite, ainsi tout pas lentement. Peut-être je comprends. Morning, sir. Good morning, Frank. Lovely to have you with us. And a very warm welcome to our TikTok. Now, we should have a much more stable signal because you have kindly given McCLUE some pennies and we've been out and got some equipment. Always a week for you, Scottie, says Bryden. Dinky-Doo, Scottie McCLUE. Dinky-Doo, aye. So there you go. Now we'll just get rid of DC right away. So lifetime ban for DC, isn't that fabulous? We love that. There we are. We don't want idiots like that anywhere near us ever. Right, fantastic. Good. Good morning, good sir. Good morning to you. How lovely to have you with us, and Dinky-Doo. Sorry I never stayed longer yesterday. I caught up with something, Frank. Don't you worry. It was fabulous to be with everybody yesterday. Amazing. If you've just joined us, folks, get following. You're watching Scottie McCLUE, the world's top broadcaster, hashtag FLOTI, the first lord of the internet. Fit like the day, fit like man. Good morning. I'm from Glasgow Borough. Big Lloyd, lovely to have you with us. Glasgow, fantastic. Get following, everybody. Pop up to the top left, click follow Scottie McCLUE. There we go. Morning, Scottie. Morning, Tom. So glad you could join us. We're on the YouTube as well, guys. Patricia's joined us. Good morning from Glastonbury. We love you in Glastonbury, Patricia. Do you perform? There's a true unionist has joined us. Jay, you may be a true unionist, but you never go. Scotland might get your vote yet. Follow us as soon as you can, guys. Dinky-Doo from Yoka. So there we go. Scottie for the SNP leader. Well, William, I've just done the latest video on it, so you can check it out on the TikTok videos. Guys, watch every single TikTok video. They're made with love for you. And make sure you have liked, shared, done all that stuff. Yes, indeed. Good morning to everybody on the YouTube. Please get subscribing. Fantastic stuff. I asked you, do you know where Little Dove Hill in Glasgow is? And Frank, I said to you, I thought it was between Rock Hill and Stob Hill and Springburn. There we go. More viewers to share. Lovely to have you with us. Thank you. So good of you. This is what it's all about. Has everybody followed? Let me see. We need 100 followers right now. Fantastic. Who have we got here? Thanks for following, Deanne. Lovely to have you with us. And remember, we never scroll, we never troll. Good morning, Scottie. Good morning, Blair. Good morning from Beaumore in Isla, says the wonderful Ali McNeil. Kamraha umaha hakama. Falchi ki demeli falchi don TikTok. I guess Scotchok McCLUE. Good morning, everybody. Good morning from Glasgow, says Aidan. Lovely Aidan. There's Anne-Marie following. Anne-Marie, what a wonderful thing to do. Everybody on TikTok should be following Scottie McCLUE. There we are. No, it's a little lane across from the Barrowlands. I passed it yesterday. Little Dove Hill. How fabulous, Frank. I didn't know that. Good morning from Girvan. David, we love Girvan. There's somebody from South Shields. South Shields, man, used to walk a dog in South Shields. There's the dog there. He loved South Shields. A little one flung a pebble for him and it chipped a tooth on the beach at South Shields. So there you are, Dinky-Doo. Were you a teacher back in the day? Oh, I was a lot of things back in the day and many things forward in the day. I'm from South Shields too. Everybody from South Shields is coming on. The saying, Scottie, blink and you miss it. Frank, there are so many things in life. Blink and you miss it. Morning from Widnes. Aye, that's it. Have you been live all night? Oh, all night and all day. And me and my husband love watching you from Uddingston. Dinky-Doo, we love Uddingston. Dinky-Doo to both of you. Good morning from Plymouth. Lovely, or Plymouth, as I once pronounced it on the telly, and got a row from some guy. But again, it's actually Plymouth. I've been to Plymouth and loved it. I had wonderful crab soup. Please wish my wife Lorna good morning. She loves listening to you. Jay, good morning to you and good morning to Lorna. Yes, I hope the two of you are having a lie in. I actually used to think a lie-in was something that politicians did. There was like a whole group of them, and they just told each other a load of whoppers. From Durham, Ginger, we love County Durham. I'm loving the flat cat, by the way. Sweeney, I thank you so much. Please say, and he asked me to advertise a very popular Scottish fizzy drink, which I can't do, of course. Hey, Scotty, I'm just up from a hangover. Free Saturday, might seize the day and go and visit a museum. I heard that once a week you need to look it up. You can go and see the Glasgow Museum's collection. This is stuff that's not actually on display at the moment, but you can arrange to see it. Fantastic, I believe. Yes, Scottish. Yes, Scotty, that's exactly what a lie-in is. 100%. A lie-in. A group of politicians vying with each other for who can tell each other the biggest whopper. Guys, I'm not getting involved in the leadership, but I have posted a video for you, and if you can get following, please, can you do a Winston Churchill impression? Never in the field of human conflict has so much money been taken from so many by so few. Any good? Green or blue, says Marco. Green or blue? Green or blue? Well, I mainly wear blue, but the hat's green, you see. So there's a balance. They used to say blue and green should never be seen. The whole 650 plus lie to the public in general. Yeah, but Frank, that's going to change. They're all about to get found out. That was brilliant. Did you like that one, Norwich lad? We're being watched in Norwich, guys. Has everybody followed? We need another 100 followers right now. If you're not following Scottie McClue, then check out what's wrong with you. Glasgow Celtic champions. Oh, absolutely, Sean. Mon the Hoops. Is it we are the Hoops and Mon the people? Is that right? We're simply the Hoops. Something like that, I think. Good morning from a rainy Medway. Aha. Candy Crane. Have you ever heard of an old paddle steamer called the Medway Queen? I think she still exists. Big Lloyd says, they're on to me, Scotty. Yes, says Lily. Yes, Lily. Morning from Peterhead, Scotty. Are you up at Peterhead, Colin? Fitzgerald liking Peterhead today. And it'll name it up much better in the broch. I have indeed. So there we go. Amazing. Get following, guys. Angela's just followed. What a beautiful human thing to do. To go up to the top after 40 years of public service from Scottie McClue. So there we are. Do you know Peter Reid from Peterhead? Peter Reid, isn't he did? I think Peter Reid from Peterhead did. The Volvo was for sale. Got a nice George Galloway vibe. Listen, I was watching George Galloway the other day. What a guy. What incredible intelligence. You know, I mean, whether you're a big fan or not, it doesn't matter. The man's a genius. I saw a video of you who presented the news in the Grampian area. That's it, Frank. I was a newscaster. Scotty, what's your family tartan? Mine's is Stuart. Mine's is Lamont. Yes, it's beautiful green and blue and purple and all that. Heading to Aberdour, Silver Sands. Hope the rain stays off. Jay, We love you in Fife and in Aberdeen and the Silver Sands. Lovely. Have a beautiful day. There we are. Yes, indeed. George Galloway is entertaining. Very much so. There we go. Now, who have we got here? We are live on the YouTube, guys. Get following. Thank you so much to Sam for following. Who have we got here? Do you sleep tonight? Oh, beautifully. Slept like a log. Woke up in the fireplace. Who have we got here? Thank you very much, Mason. Good to hear from you. I'm a member of the North Wales Celtic Society. I would imagine that's a big organisation, since everybody in Wales is Celtic. There we are. It's interesting. I wonder if you should, are we pronouncing it wrong? Should it be Glasgow Celtic rather than Celtic? Should we change? Guys, here's a question for you. Should we change from the Celtic in Glasgow, the Celtic, to the Celtic? What do we think? Now, here we got Sean Maguire. Sean, your day came 100 years ago. If you were the Scottish PM, what would your first order of business be? To make Greenock the financial capital of the world. There you go. What about that? Also, to start improving the economy of all the towns, cities and villages in Scotland. Glasgow, Edinburgh, Dundee, Aberdeen, Inverness. Yes, I want to have Dunfermline, let's not forget. Dunkeld, let's not forget our cities. You know, would you take Carlisle back? Oh, that would be lovely. I'm sure Carlisle, it's not Carlisle, it's Carlisle. And I think Carlisle, Warwick Road, good morning, Carlisle. I think Carlisle would love to be in Scotland, so would Newcastle. There you are now, you see. They used to say, Geordies were just Scots without a brain. It's a bit harsh on the Geordies. Now, did the Medway Queen arrive at Dunkirk in the 1940s? Frank, I think she probably did, because all the Clyde steamers went to Dunkirk. Like, you had the Caledonia was HMS Goat Fell. The Talisman, the DEPV Talisman, was HMS Aristocrat. And the wee Ashton that I worked on, I think was she RN 38. So glad I found you, matey. You've got good pattern. Sean, no bother at all. You're very welcome. And a happy St. Patrick's Day for yesterday. Scotty Old Bean, greetings, says Ross. Ross, DINKY-DOO. Scotty, I dare say you support Scottish independence, as I do. I do, but I'm not political, you see. I'm economic. I think Scotland would do very well if it kept its own money. Morning from Inverness, where you speak the best English in the world. How are you, my man, DINKY-DOO? Howdy! Howdy, we haven't heard from you for years. Have you been keeping a low profile? True, Scotty, I think it was to pick the troops up for heavy orders. It was. The first Waverley, Frank, was under, I think it was Lieutenant Commander John Cameron. John had been given naval rank. And the first Waverley from 1899 got a bomb right through her deck. And in 1947, the London and North Eastern Railway gave us the second Waverley, the one that's in Glasgow to this day, with the engines put in by Rankin and Blackmore of Greenock from my dear old friend Jim Ferrier, who was the managing director. And, incredible. And Captain Cameron was given the command of the new Waverley in 1947 because he'd been at Dunkirk when his ship got bombed. All my family are in the lodges. I'm the odd one out. Well, maybe you could be in the tents. Usually you've got the lodges and there's a wee bit of camping beside it. And caravans as well. Hey, the Loch Ness Monster is the real cash, Eamon. Why did you ever doubt? Marco says, this is why TikTok is so good. Every once in a while a character arrives, like him. Unique. Keep it up. Marco, you are very, very kind. Has everybody followed Scottie McCLUE? If you haven't, hang your head in shame. Shame. We are members of the League of Purity, down with vice and sin. Shame. Shame! Shame! Ha! There we are. The King of Scots, honourable people, I tried to be silent, says Eamon. Eamon, why would you want to be silent on a TikTok with Scottie McCLUE? I'm ex-Navy, Scottie. I love naval history. Tell me this. Ross, can you tell me what the gingerbread is? When somebody goes, well, that's taking the guilt off the gingerbread. There we go. You know, that spoiled it for everybody. Ha, ha, ha. There we go. Somebody's having a laugh with Haldy. Lockie and Braveheart Sod Highlander. Better not have been BS after the Queen sang. There we are. The Queen sang. Yes, indeed. Now, what have we got here? Well, you see, the Union is built on sand. Guys, 1,000 of you have just joined me. I'm not sure about the gingerbread one to learn. Ross, I'll give it to you right now. I might do a wee series on these sayings because so many British sayings in English are maritime, are naval related. And I'll tell you, dissolve the Union, says Sean McClure. Sean? I can't argue with that. Nobody can. There's no case for the Union. And that's not me being political. I'm just telling you straight. It was put together with jiggery, pokery, and skullduggery by Queen Anne, who was mad as a box of frogs. Somebody's calling. You're live on Scotty's phone in. Who's that? Hello? There we are. Here we got. The reason they changed the pronunciation of Celtic, not to sound like the real Celtic, if you know what I mean. Well, am I dead yet, he says. He called himself, am I dead yet? What a strange thing to call yourself. So there we are. Scotty, you come across very educated. You go to university. There's me behind you. The dog is graduating and I'm holding the hood for him. Ha ha! Lord Reith the Labrador. I went to the finest university in the world, Glasgow University. You see, Scotland had 4 universities when England had 2. Scotland had Glasgow, Edinburgh, St Andrews, and Aberdeen, and England only had Oxford and Cambridge. Dear me. There you are. Now, Ross, very quickly, the guilt off the gingerbread. The saying is something, when something good's happened and then there's a problem. And somebody says, well, that's taking the guilt off the gingerbread, hasn't it? You know, now, the guilt, the gingerbread in the old sailing ship, at the after end, yes, at the stern, you had the officers' quarters. And in old sailing ships, you'll see they look like a wee house with 4 square pane windows. And very often on the Royal Naval ships, they were beautifully decorated with gilding, gold paint. And if you're taking the sailing ship in and our stern crashed against the dock, because you didn't have an engine, obviously. Even with an engine, some RN ships have crashed against the dock. Then people said that has taken the gilding off the gingerbread. So the gingerbread was the fancy design of the officers' quarters at the after end at the stern of a sailing ship. How about that one, Ross? Do you like that? And there we are. There's Evan. Evan says, wonderful to something. I can't remember. I can't see. There we are. I don't drink till the sun sets past the yard arm. Absolutely, Ross. In the winter, it's quite advantageous if you like a refreshment. You think, well, 4 o'clock, I think the sun's past the yard arm. Why do the British hate you? Well, nobody hates me, Leafer Man. You mustn't assume everybody has your lifestyle. There we are. We don't have hate in our vocabulary because it shuts off an avenue of learning. You know, people go, oh, I hate that. Then they're going to lose out big style. So there we are. So I would say the British love me, but you see, there's no such country as Britain. It exists as a royal entity. It's like a royal peculiar, because they always wanted to cover all of Britain when Scotland took over the English crown in 1603. And then I think it was 1701. The royal family, round about the Act of Secession, called themselves the British royal family. But Britain is really just a landmass. So it's not really of any great value as a country. But the United Kingdom has 4 countries. And when you hear a senior politician, even a prime minister, say things like, I love this country, you say, well, what country are you talking about? There are 4 of us. Dinky-Doo, la-la, hashtag Flotai. Beachy, how lovely to have you with us. Now, has everybody followed Scottie McCLUE? I kind of made up my own accent in Live Dangerous. Eamon, there's no such thing as making up your accent. An accent gives you a hint of where you were born. I don't have an accent per se. This is the way I speak. Oh, that's lovely. I'll just pop the camera and the YouTube down a bit. Now, good morning, everyone. Stephen Beck, lovely to have you with us. Susan says, good morning. Guys, if you're watching on YouTube, on the Scottie McCLUE YouTube channel, you'll see how to get onto that on the TikTok videos. Then make sure you subscribe. It's on the move forward. At 9 o'clock tonight, of course, the Scottie McCLUE phone-in. Don't miss that on YouTube and TikTok. Eamon, you were told the Scottish passport, says Sean. There we have it now. The finest educational system in the world, King of Scots. Scotland still has the finest educational system in the world. Who have we got here? I think Scotland's wild and free already. My grandfather is from Clydebank. We love Clydebank. I used to broadcast from Clydebank. Radio Clyde. Thank you, Scottie, says Ross. Not at all, Ross. Thank you. Lovely to have you with us. Yes, it should have its freedom and make our own laws without Westminster. I think so, Sean. You know, although Westminster's going to get a wee shock. Hiya, Scottie. Dinky-Doo. Top of the morning to you, Scottie boy. Thoughts on Marxism? I loved the Marx brothers. And there were 2 Labour MPs had gone for a sauna on a Friday afternoon. And one said to the other, have you read Marx? He went, yes, I think it's these wooden seats. Follow us as soon as you can, guys. Marxism's long dead, guys. Who have we got? Do you know how you spell my grandma's area? Hoyek. Yes, I do, Marky. Where are you watching from, Marky? Oh, we crack in the voice there. Where are you watching from, Marky? Hoyk is H-A-W-I-C-K. And they have the Hoyk Common Riding. So I would look into that. Hoyk's wonderful. Dinky-Doo, it's Scottie McCLUE. One of the finest people to come out of Hoyk in recent years was Bill McLaren, the rugby commentator. Does anyone remember Bill? I think everybody will. Good afternoon and welcome to Murrayfield. Dinky-Doo, it's Scottie McCLUE. It is indeed Nick. How lovely to have you with us. Has everybody gone up to the top left and followed? Please follow. Now. Oh, that's lovely. Nick, it's Scottie, I-E, not Y. They're both agreement, yes. April the 6th I think 1320. Was it the 6th? In 1320. And that's when we voted in our own monarchy, Sean. That's why I'm so hot on the monarchy, because it's Scottish. And it was elected by the Scottish people. Well, by the aristocracy. And it took the power away from Rome at the time. So the aristocracy wrote to the Pope. The Treaty of Arbroath is really, the Declaration of Arbroath. Forgive me. How shocking. The Declaration of Arbroath of 1320 was the Scottish aristocracy writing to His Holiness the Pope to say, please, can we choose our own king? Can we elect our own king? There's Lily, hashtag be fabulous. Absolutely, Lily, be fabulous, Scotty, says Lily. Is that you in the graduation photo? It is, Marky. And the dog, Lord Reith. I would never describe myself as British, always Scottish. Well, Addy, you are, by being Scottish, axiomatically British. There's a word for you, dear boy. Axiomatically, you are British by being Scottish, because Scotland is part of the landmass of Great Britain, which is the big bit. Then there's a small bit that was claimed 101 years ago called Northern Ireland. There we are. That's also British. And there are a lot of people in Northern Ireland who would describe themselves as British. Otherwise, I think Northern Ireland would just reunify with the rest of Ireland. Happy St. Patrick's Day yesterday, by the way, guys. Right, has everybody followed Scottie McClue? You should not be watching if you haven't followed. That's the joining fee. You follow and you watch. That's what we do on here, guys. We are a huge community. 2 billion people have heard of Scottie McClue worldwide, globally. Now, before you get too excited, there are 8 billion people in the world. This means 6 billion have yet to hear of Scottie McClue. So I'm more well known than famous. DINKY-DOO, Scottie McClue, just for you. Good morning, everybody. Are you joining us on the YouTube? Thanks for following, Sean. Fantastic. Beautiful, beautiful people on the TikTok. Thank you for all your gifts. Scotsman TikToker, good morning, Mr. McClue. Good morning, Scotsman TikToker. The absolute knowledge and wisdom you could bestow upon someone in a conversation is glorious. Oh, King of Scots, we haven't even scratched the surface. I remember meeting a man 50 years ago, and he was called George Ritchie. He was originally from Aberdeen, and he'd moved down to Greenock to be with his sister and brother-in-law. And George was a top Scottish journalist writing for a paper called The Citizen, the Evening Citizen. And when I met George, I was just so bowled over by 2 things. One, his humility, and the other, his wonderful ability to talk to ordinary people with a vast, vast treasure chest of knowledge and information. And that was George. So there's a name for you guys. George Ritchie, a lovely, 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 humble, gentle man who was perhaps one of the finest journalists the UK and Scotland has ever had. There we are. Fantastic. Aberdeen's loss was Glasgow's gain. Who's the most famous person you have on here? I think yourself, Frank. The people will have heard your name more than anyone else's. Guys, Frank McElroy, a wonderful guy and a name to conjure with. So there you go. Can you say happy birthday to my daddy, Bo? I can, Reese. Happy birthday, Bo. Clydebank is a dump, says Connor. Connor, wash your mouth out. Clydebank is a beautiful place, stuffed with beautiful people. The Bankies. The people that built us the most wonderful ships in the world. The QE2, the Queen Mary, the Queen Elizabeth, the Vanguard, all the big battleships. I think they probably built the Prince of Wales and the Repulse. Somebody would need to check that. All by the Clydebank people. Up the Bankies, I say, and the White Inchers. There we go. Now, who have we got? Can I get a hooray for Kai? Of course you can, Bill. Good morning from Inverkip. Oh, Shuggy, we love you from Inverkip. Are you able to sleep when all the yacht masts start vibrating in the wind and beating against the aluminium masts? Hello, I'm Kelly. How are you doing? Hello, Kelly. How lovely to have you with us. We are Dinky-Doo. Guys, tell us where you're watching from. There's Billy Boy. Good morning, Scotty Boy. Billy, I reckon if the Scottish government acknowledge 100% that all the Scots are behind King Charles, supporting him 100%, I think they'll pick up the unionist vote. Do you not? Yes. And then you can put a whole rule. Are you a Brit? Well, you see, there's no such thing as a Brit, apart from somebody that lives in Great Britain, you see. So there's all these wonderful different people who live on a landmass. So you would be Scottish or English, Northern Ireland, Northern Irish, I should say, beg your pardon, Welsh, yes. You may have come in a part of our immigration program, which I believe is quite busy at the moment. So there we are. Where in Scotland are you from, Scotty? All of it, Lewis. I'm sort of a son of Scotland. Some people say Scotland's most famous son. I've been put up there with Robert Burns and James Watt and Henry Bell and Thomas Edison and Andrew Carnegie. Yes. Johnny, good morning. Scotty McCLUE, chap. Hope you're well. Eric, lovely to have you with us. You put a G instead of a C. Can you say happy birthday to my daddy? Well, we've done that. Yes, brilliant commentator. English have moved here 23 years ago. I'm now Scottish, would never go back south. I'm loving this. Marco, I thank you. We love you. The Scots adore the English. They're just not quite so keen on Westminster. And well, that's not entirely true. They're not so keen on Westminster's attitude to Scotland, you see. So I think what we're needing from the present government is they're needing to eat a wee bit more humble pie when they're in the presence of Scots. That's what I would say, a little bit more manners and a bit more respect for the people of Scotland. That's not too much to ask. Do you mind Brún Fé Trún? Jay. I loved Brún Fé Trún. Gordon Brún, the original Gordon Brún Fé Trún, our most fabulous rugby player. Am I right? Played for Scotland. Sadly left us far too young. Like all these great people. Clydebank is not a dump. It was destroyed in World War II. My grandparents fled to England for survival. Sean T. Mack, you're 100% correct. And the reason it was destroyed by bombing was because it was building so many wonderful ships. John Brown Engineering and Shipbuilding. Mr. McClure, thank you for your time. You're a gentleman. I could spell this message differently. You're wonderful. I thank you, Eamon. So a hooray out for Kai there. Kai, Bill, stop spamming or we have to mute you. We've given you your message. So there we are. I'll have to mute. He's still at it. Special shout out for our Irish friends we haven't forgotten. Absolutely, Kelsane. Good morning, Ireland. Ireland will be watching right now. The Irish are huge Scottie McCLUE fans. There we are. Do you think King Charles will continue the royal family holiday at Balmoral? I don't see any reason not to. I don't know his personal opinion of Balmoral. I know the Queen loved it, and I know King Charles loves all the Scottish stuff. Because remember, he also had many Scottish titles. I think he's given them over to his son, Prince William, now. And these titles, if I remember right, would be Lord of the Isles, Baron Renfrew, the Duke of Rothesay. What else did he have? He was also, I mean, it's not a Scottish title, but it was the Earl of Chester. And I think somebody told me a story that one time he was being incognito and he signed something, Charlie Chester. So there we are. I know he loves Sandringham. There we are. Now, what's this fix your lashes? I've seen one or two dafties use that before. I think they're used to watching sort of maybe more substandard stuff, and they're not used to being on Scottie McCLUE live. It's a bit like I saw you crying in the supermarket. That kind of daft. Can we have a reveal of your feet? You know, these kind of dafties that didn't know how to react on TikTok's Top Talk Show. Scotsman TikToker, of course he will. Guys, have you followed me? I need another 50 followers. Everyone watching, get following. He's an SOS, a son of Scotland. I thank you, M.I. Mr. Martin, Scotty, how much iron is there in the Andrew? There we are. I don't know, Mr. Martin. I'm not in charge of the secret recipe. There we go. Thank you for my lightning bolt, Steph. Thanks to my ancestors, Scotland is free. Well, it is very much free. And as I say, the Union was very, very poorly put together. So there's no case for it. But we'll see how it goes. I think there's a lot of infighting going on at the moment with the SNP. And the three candidates missed an opportunity live on television last week to say that they backed King Charles 100%. They were going, I think there's more important things going on in Scotland. No, there's not. That's vital and pivotal to the future of Scotland and the chance of independence. And they should have been right in there. One of them said he was a Republican. Oh, my goodness me. There we are. Scotty, I'll need to look up that word in the dictionary. Can you say it again? What word was it, Ade? Spell it roughly for me. And I'll tell you which word I've forgotten. Can we have a hooray for Bill Wynne-Thomas? We can, Bill. There we are. Good morning, Bill. Hooray. Morning, Scotty. Sending you Saturday morning positivity and high fives. The satire. High five. High five, la. Fist bump. Fantastic. Dinky-Doo. So there we go. When are the mugs and badges coming out? There's the badge on my hat. See it on the YouTube and the TikTok. Scottie McCLUE, Dinky-Doo. Once we hit 1 million followers on TikTok and 1 million subscribers on YouTube, because Scottie McCLUE deserves that. You know, I've done an apprenticeship with all of you for 40 years. 31 years of Scottie McCLUE. So I think a wee click and a wee follow is not a lot to ask in return. And it's always been 100% free at the point of delivery and consumption. So there we go. So I think, yes, people have been very generous. They give me TikTok gifts. They've gone on to the GOFUNDME, the latest one, and been very, very kind. We're well on our way with Target there. They've gone on to paypal.me/Scottie McClue and been very kind there as well. But nobody ever has to spend a bean or pay a bean to Scottie McClue. It all comes to me out of generosity, kindness, thoughtfulness, and beauty from people. Good morning, Scottie. I thank you very much. What do you think of the Barnett formula? Well, I had a lot of time for Joel Barnett. Joel Barnett was a governor of the BBC, if I remember right. And he was quite a character, Lord Barnett. But the formula is duff, and it needs to be revised. Scotland gives Westminster upwards of £75 billion per annum. Nice voice, got the Barnett. The Barnett formula, hi Barnett. The Barnett formula gives us back, I think it's 28 billion. So that means we are £48 billion down the Swanee to subsidise Westminster. Now, we don't agree in Scotland with the way Westminster's spending our money. So a lot more money needs to come back to Scotland. We also need reparation of damages to do Upland Lithgow Palace. That was sacked by the King's brother, the Duke of Cumberland, on his way to Culloden, trying to take power away from Scotland. So you know what I mean? We need that repaired. And maybe it might be a residence for the First Minister, a country residence, Linlithgow Palace. Where in Scotland are you from? Oh, the royal family could use it. No problem with that. Do you like the Orkney Isles? No, I don't like the Orkney Isles. I love the Orkney Isles. Love the Orkney Isles. So there we go. Papa Westray. Do you know Papa Westray? And I haven't been, but I want to go up. I want to go to Kirkwall. I remember the great Joe Grimmond. Does anyone remember Joe? Joe and Laura Grimmond. Fantastic. And I think Laura was I think Laura was a Bonham Carter. Yes, there's a lovely old name. A Bonham Carter. And I can remember Mrs. Malcolm was a Bonham Carter of Pultallach. There you are. Fantastic. Bonzie Bonham Carter. Wonderful people. Sinn Féin will set the 6 counties free. Well, Sean, we don't mind Sinn Féin, but we didn't like the sort of, I don't think you could even call them military. We didn't like that side of things, that's dodgy. But Sinn Féin's doing very, very well. Yes, and I think, I spoke to somebody who is very high up in Dublin, and they said to me, Scottie, it'll just happen, I think. It's only a matter of time. So I don't know what they meant by time. Uddy is for Uddingston, because I used to live there. You could get the train to Uddy. The wonderful Tunnocks the Bakers, Uddingston. So there we have it. What do we got here? Do you do voiceover work, Scottie? I do, Stephen, but I'm very particular. I mean, when I hear a duff voice advertising something on the telly, I think, if they'd come to me, they'd actually have sold something. So if you want to book Scottie McClue, bookings at scottie-mcclue.com. What's the YouTube channel called? The YouTube channel, which we're on right this second. Has everybody subscribed, guys? The YouTube channel is Scottie McClue, Voice of the World Radio Talk Show. Nice humble title for our YouTube channel. But the quick way to get to, I think, is youtube.com /at Scottie McClue, SCOTTIEMCCLUE, and go and subscribe, guys. It's the world's best kept secret at the moment, but it's going up in subscribers very quickly. So I would suggest everybody gets onto that. So there we are. Now, what have we got here? DINKY-DOO, Scottie McClue, live on Q, just for you. Addy, you remember it, don't you? DINKY-DOO, Scottie McClue, live on Q, just for you. And that was Q96, based in the West Coast in Paisley. And what a popular radio station. There we go. Aberdeen, I know it well. Aberdeen, with Spiccadoric on here, if it like. Fantastic. Now, here we got here. Scottie McClue shouts DINKY-DOO. There we are. While you are anything but foo. Well, we don't want you foo. Wallace Farm used to be there. Absolutely, Kelson. Yes, William Wallace. Check out all the videos. What's the difference between Dubai and Abu Dhabi? Dubai don't have the Flintstones, but Abu Dhabi do. We love it. A wee joke. Guys, have you all followed Scottie McClue? Get following. Join us tonight at 9 o'clock. My uncle John, Malcolm, Herbert, and Argyle. Yes, indeed. Follow us, guys, as soon as you possibly can. Can you say happy birthday? Now, James, I've been broadcasting for 40 years on television and radio to millions and millions and millions, in fact, billions now. 2 billion have heard of Scottie McClue. 2 billion. Scouts honour. So there you are. Remember, the Scouts, be prepared. So there you go. So do you think I'm going to say that, James? And I'm actually shocked at a man like you thinking I would. So you need to go and have a wee grow up, James. There we are. We'll leave you. We'll not get rid of you. Now, this fix your lashes nonsense, drop all that rubbish. We've got important things to discuss on here. This is TikTok's Top Talk Show with Scottie McClue. How much for the badge in your cap? Now, everyone, it's still raining. Mr. Martin, I remember a woman said to me at a dinner, I said, I've got 2 wee Scottie badges. I thought I'd give them to the auctioneer. It was a very famous auctioneer. And I went up to the auctioneer. I said, there's 2 wee badges for you. And I got back. She said, what were you doing? I said, I was giving the auctioneer the 2 wee badges because he might get a fiver for them. They went for £600 each. Good morning from Scottie from Stirling. She said, watch you don't fall in your nose. She said, because you might, that's it. You might get egg in your face if nobody buys them. £600 each. There we have it. You see, I think she didn't understand how big Scottie McClue is. Good morning. How are you today from Motherwell? We're fine, Jamesy. And they're all copyrighted and trademarked, you see. Fantastic. Good morning from Huddersfield in Yorkshire. Aye, what like in Yorkshire, eh? Fantastic. Huddersfield. I used to stay not very far away from you. I stayed over a bit more towards Sheffield, but I'd go through Huddersfield. And, I'd also go through last of the summer wine country, Firth, eh? That's it. Aye. Loved Yorkshire. Stayed in Yorkshire for 4 years, guys. 2 and 2. Kippy from Kentucky in the USA. Great to see you again. Kippy James, we love you from Kentucky. There we are. Now, here we got, do you know Kenny? Kenny talks from West Lothian. I probably do. The Steelworks. Stirling says, Selena. Bow down to the king. Well, no, in Scotland, we do this. That's how you just let the head fall forward. There's no bowing and scraping. It's just a beautiful tradition. The monarchy is a Scottish institution. We took over the English crown in 1603. So it's right and proper that the monarchy belongs to Scotland. It's right and proper that King Charles is the head of state, and this should be recognised by all the nationalists. And it's right and proper that we continue the tradition when we meet King Charles. That's it. And then he'll do the handshake. Say, very nice to meet you. Very close to me in Denny. Absolutely, we love Denny. Scotty is the king of Scotland's radio waves. Yes, indeed. I think we still are. I don't think there's anybody has had more than 460,000 calls to a radio station in 1 week since I came off the radio. So there we have it. That's all right, isn't it? What did you do for work? Jamesy, I did television, radio, banking and finance, the theatre. There we are. Education. I'm an academic. What else do I need to be telling you? So there we are. An actor, a writer, a broadcaster. All that sort of thing. Pretty sure my great uncle William has done his share. I'm pretty sure he has. Kelzine. Ali, no too bad, Brenton. That's me back, Scotty. Great, Lily. Welcome back. There's the wonderful Lily Bandoni has joined us. What a top man. Fellas, guys, hope everything's going well, Lee. Feel free to send me through any of the videos. We'll pop them up for you. What's on today, Scotty? A day of domestication. How about that? Guys, I've got 8,600 likes. Oh, how amazing is that? Good morning, Harry. Lovely to have you with us. What's on? Good morning from Ireland. Whereabouts in Ireland are you from? Because I know every blade of grass on the Emerald Isle. There we are. Now, what do we got here? Oh. Question mark, says Joe. What's the photo of you behind? That's Lord Reith the Labrador. I'm the one behind him. Perhaps the most famous black Labrador in the world. They should have made a movie about Lord Reith. He never missed a radio show. And he used to get up from under the radio desk and shake his collar. And one night a guy phoned and somebody said, Scotty, could you take a call? I said, well, we're off air now. There's not much point. He went, no, he says he knows you and he'd just like a quick chat. So I went on the phone and it was the loveliest man, John. And he said, do you have a dog in the studio? I said, I do. I said, why do you ask? He said, I'm blind and I listen every night. And when the news jingle fires, I hear his collar medal. Because Lord Reith used to get up from lying on his side and shake when he heard the news jingle fire because he knew it was Walkie's time. Yes, 1 o'clock in the morning. Did you have a good St. Patrick's Day? I had a beautiful St. Patrick's Day talking to wonderful, wonderful people. Fantastic. A lot with Irish connections. Dinky-Doo from Saline. Have I said it right? Saline in Fife. I know where you are. You'll be not far from Muckert. Am I right? There we are. And not too far from Ceres. We love Fife. Saline in Fife. Did Saline not have a... Was it Saline that had the famous cricket team? Oh, guys, I'm nearly 10,000 likes. I need another 20 followers, please. All the beautiful gifts. Steph, thank you for my squirrel, my lightning bolt, and my TikTok. Also, some people would think being able to take a joke is a good thing. Well, Richard, we can all take a joke. We should. Remember, you cannot give offence. You have to take it. And you know the Cairngorms I love. I drive through the Cairngorms. Last summer, I was at Rothiemurchus, and I was looking for the ruined chapel where Lord Reith of the BBC is buried. So if anyone can help me, I drove through Rothy Marcus and out to the loch, and I couldn't find the chapel. So if anybody knows the chapel, it's just not far. Must be a mile or two from Aviemore. So there we are, the photo in the back. That's me. There's another one for you. I'll show you this one. Do you like that? Eh? How's about that, guys? Another photo for you there. A photo finish. Talking of photo finish, I think we're going to have to finish. 10,000 likes. You people are beautiful. Guys, we need another 50 followers. ASAP. Everybody with a sense of decency should be following Scottie McClue on TikTok. Does that mean chores, says Chris? Chris, it's chores. Domestication. I have to start with the dishes from tonight. Oh, I'm a dirty midden. Wash these dishes, McClue. Fantastic. We love it. How much time have we got left? We need to go. I think we've got about 2 more minutes. Do you talk about anything other than politics? Richard, we very, very rarely mention politics. We talk about everything other than politics. We talk about what interests people. And at the moment, there's a bit of politics on the go in Scotland. Not so much politics in Westminster. They've gone a bit quiet. Now, there we go. Now, we'll get rid of this guy, Putin's something. You can go, because we don't have any of that filth on here. Bye-bye. There we go. Lifetime ban, guys. If anybody comes on and they're dirty, filthy middens trying to get me to say something rude, lifetime ban, you'll never be back. I'm a Republican, says Sean. Yes, but I mean, we are a monarchy in this country, Sean. Republic would be madness in the UK. They just don't go for it because we've always been monarchists, because they were elected in 1320, and it's the crown, you see. That's our symbol of authority. I don't know, what's your symbol of authority in a republic? I suppose it'll be the flag. Like America is a republic, so they've got the flag. They salute the flag, we salute the crown. Not a problem either way. Guys, I'm going to have to dash. You people are absolutely beautiful. Take great care of yourselves. Who will be the new FM? I just know it's not me. We're getting robbed, says Sean. We are, Sean, but the people that are robbing us are just about to hit the buffers, believe it or not. So many beautiful people on here. I stay in well, I don't bow to no crown. Well, you need to JFD, otherwise you will spend your life in poverty. It's respectful, and I bow to everyone, including the King, Your Majesty. A lovely sail. There we go. Scotland's been the same since 1296. Or before that, I love you, Scottie, says Steph. Steph, you're very kind. Scotland hasn't been the same since 167 BC. The monarchy is 2,347 years old. I've got to go, guys. Say good morning. Stick out your tongue and say ta-ta. Ba-ba. What beautiful, beautiful people on the TikTok and the YouTube. Guys, we need to go. Let's auction the badge, Scottie. We might do it at some point, Mr. Martin. A very good morning to you all. Join us tonight, 9 o'clock sharp. This is Scottie McClue saying dinky-doo to every one of you. Stick out your tongue and say ta-ta. Ba-ba. Ba-ba.